Welcome back. I'm Dr. Shirley Garrett reading from Hot Flash Divas, and today we're going to be reading Chapter 10, Horrid Christmas. Early on Christmas morning, Todd and I took our steaming mugs of coffee into the living room to open presents. I set mine on the table that separated our beige recliners. Todd had to report to work at the funeral home by 8. At noon, he would be relieved of duty, and we would drive to Joyce's house for lunch and more gifts. We tore into several of our smaller items. Boxes and paper littered the carpet around our feet. Buffy scooted from one package to another, poking her nose inside and sniffing. Like many human children at Christmas, she wanted to play with the packaging instead of her new rawhide bone. Life was good. The coffee went down smooth. Buffy was providing the morning's entertainment, and so far, I loved my presents. Todd got my attention and pointed at Buffy. Look at her. Buffy had managed to fit her entire head inside the end of a long box. When she backed up, it came with her. She raised her head, and the container tilted toward the ceiling. Todd and I laughed as Buffy shimmied, trying to dislodge her cardboard prison. Come here, sweetie. Mama will get that mean box off your head. Buffy turned her cardboard-shrouded head in my direction. I rose from the chair and dropped to my knees to free her. That's so funny, said Todd, chuckling. It was nice to see him in such a good mood. Encouraged by his soaring spirits, I hefted the large wrapped carton that camouflaged his ring and placed it on his lap. Open this one next. I sat down on my chair, hands on my knees, waiting for his reaction. Joyce had left strict orders that she wanted a play-by-play of the scene. After ripping away the paper, Todd pulled a knife out of his pocket and slit the packing tape holding the box shut. A grin spread across his face as he dug in like a kid. Styrofoam peanuts rustled and boiled over the edges of the box onto the carpet as he searched for his prize. I felt the zing of excitement I received any time I watched someone open the perfect present. My smile widened. I couldn't wait until Todd saw the ring. There's a brick in the bottom of this box. He looked at me and laughed. I've been wondering for weeks what was so heavy in here. Ah, I found it. Todd pulled out the small wrap box and held it aloft. After he yanked the paper away, he lifted the lid and stiffened. He squinted at the ring. The smile melted from his face. It looks like my first one. He placed the petite box with the ring inside on the table between our chairs. I squirmed in my seat, waiting. Do you like it? It's nice. He didn't sound enthused. Silence stretched time like a rubber band. Your mom and I shopped at every jewelry store in the mall. None of them carry a ring that wide anymore. We special ordered it. I took one of your rings that I knew fit for sizing. I prattled on and on. At last, I compressed my lips to stop the flow of words. Todd furrowed his brow as he examined the ring. Mom went with you? Yeah, we spent hours looking for that ring. Does it fit? Reaching for the box, he removed the ring and held it in his palm as if weighing it. Did I get the wrong one? Do you want something different? We can exchange it if you want. I was babbling again. The mood in the room felt frigid, despite the fire blazing in the fireplace. The ring is fine. Tossing it in the air, Todd caught it. I just don't want to wear it. He placed it back in the box on the table. The breath left my body as though someone had piled concrete blocks on my chest. I reminded myself to breathe. I don't understand. Phoenix? He paused and screwed his face into the look he reserved for unpleasant tasks. I nodded for him to continue. I'm not happy. He looked up hands clenched. I think I want a divorce. He rested his elbows on his knees and leaned forward. Those were the 6 words, and he couldn't even say them with conviction. I didn't register in my mind at that moment that I just hit the first stage of grief regarding the death of my marriage. Shock. It took some time for my thoughts to form into words. With an incredulous tone, I said, "You think you want a divorce? Don't you know this is a joke, right? You're messing with me." Stage 2, denial. Todd looked at his feet. A flush started at his neck and worked its way up to his bald spot. Tears sprang to my eyes. What did I do wrong? My heart felt like he grounded into the pavement. "You're gone all the time, Phoenix. I'm not your priority anymore. I need to be someone's priority." Someone's priority? I clenched the throw pillow to my chest to shield me. "Listen, we're not getting into this right now. I waited to tell you until after your dad died. I planned to wait until the holidays were over, but then you gave me that." He gestured toward the ring. "Todd, we celebrated our 20th year anniversary 6 months ago, and you want to throw it away because I had one lousy year filled with crisis after crisis? I was there for you when your father died. I counted my points off on my fingers. I was there for you when your grandmother died. I was there for you twice when your company changed ownership." He crossed his arms and jutted his chin forward. "I'm not happy. I want out." I took a deep breath into my constricted chest and felt it loosen a bit. Use logic, I thought. "Have you talked to anyone about this? Have you sought any advice? Does your mom know?" He looked up alarmed, widening his eyes. "No." Of course Joyce didn't know. She would have told me. "Would you go see someone, a counselor? Your insurance will pay for it." "I'll think about it." His dismissive tone said otherwise. My stomach burned like an Arctic winter. Something more is going on here. "Who is she?" I sat straighter. "How long has this been going on?" My voice rose an octave. Tears cascaded down my cheeks. He shook his head and glared at me. "Don't go there. Phoenix, just drop it." His tone held a threat, but his face flushed as he looked back down at his feet. I felt the urge to snatch his chin and force him to look at me. Instead, I curled my hands into fists, sheathing my claws. Doesn't he know what's at stake here? This is our future, the rest of our lives. This is a major decision, a life-altering decision. I suggest we give it a month. We'll both talk to a counselor. I'll agree to see any therapist you choose for marital therapy. I love you, Todd. We can work through this mess. Can we, if he was unfaithful? My stomach tumbled. That's a deal breaker for me, and he knows it. Todd shrugged, shook his head, and reared back in his recliner to bring up the footrest. I want a divorce. If you need a little time in therapy to let that sink in, fine. He picked up a remote and turned on the CD player. Instead of a cheery Christmas music, I heard Elvis sing, "You Were Always on My Mind." The words wound around my emotions and squeezed like a boa constrictor. Tomorrow, we will read chapter 11. If you enjoyed this, please hit like, subscribe, and be sure to know you can share these with other people. Have a great day, stay safe, and stay well.